this is Robert with Sigma 3 Survival School, and we're doing a follow-up video to the primitive cooking jerky video that we did by drying our meats here on this rack. And basically what we're going to be doing is demonstrating how you can reinvigorate dried meats and jerkies and things like that by putting them in stews. And this is a really great way to prepare or to restore meat that you've dried for whatever purposes. You just basically are going to boil it, and the water will rehydrate the meat, and it'll be almost like new. Our ingredients here today are amaranth and wild plums. We were pretty limited on our ingredients because we had the hottest summer on record in Arkansas, I think since 1896. So the wild edibles are pretty sparse pickings. So, you know, amaranth is actually a superfood. They cultivate this stuff down in South America, and it has tremendous amounts of protein, you know, nutrients and minerals and good things for you. You couldn't find much better wild green. So I'm going to toss this into the boiling pot over here, and we're going to let it boil for approximately 20 to 30 minutes. And you want to put your meat in first, and basically just break them in half so that it'll fit in the pot. And you're going to add your greens last, because they'll cook the slowest. Throw a few plums in there. These wild plums are excellent. We caught them at just the right season. And we got some other jerky strips here as well. Some leftover stuff that we had from another squirrel. We just finished up our survival standard course today, and a lot of the students ate the jerky and, you know, had a lot of different wild edibles and things like that. We try to make our training as realistic as possible. You know, most schools, there's a lot of PowerPoint presentations, things like that. There's none of that here. It's all 100% field training. You're going to be eating a lot of prepared wild foods and really good stuff for you. Oh, I'm grabbing the amaranth. That comes last. And we're going to cook this, like I said, for about 20-30 minutes. And the reason that we basically prepare some squirrel like this is, you know, let's say you make a fresh kill and you've got a couple of leftovers. Well, if you can't eat everything you have, you want to save some for later, go ahead and dry your meat out. We're going to go ahead and let that cook, and in about 10 minutes I'm going to go ahead and add the amaranth in it, and we'll come back then. Alright, so our dish is taken care of. We cooked it for about probably 20-25 minutes. I put the squirrel in first to try to let the meat get reinvigorated. We've still got a little bit left over there for later. We also threw the plums in about the same time we threw the squirrel in, and we waited till about the last 5 minutes before we threw in the amaranth. And the amaranth is actually, I mean, is a tremendous food. It's got massive amounts of nutrients. If we had some butter, this would be awesome. So, oh yeah, that's good. It's every bit as good as spinach greens. I promise you. I'm not lying just because this is a, you know, survival show. This is really freaking good. Some plums to give it a little bit of flavor. Oh yeah. Now there's not a whole ton of meat on a squirrel to begin with, and when you dry it out, obviously you lose some moisture content and everything begins to shrink up. Most of the meat is, you know, around the stomach and the leg area, and yeah, tastes like roast. It's really good. Oh, I'm missing out. So, there's another tip to throw into your survival cooking toolbox, and you can do this with any meat. And if you've got anything to add, you know, in some of your primitive cooking situations that you've got some expertise on, drop us a line in the commentary box. And the best way you can help us is to subscribe, and we appreciate you. Thanks.